Okay, everyone, welcome to the whatever this is. I'm Jeff Moore, and you're watching my review on this eagle carving that I'm about to watch. So, without further ado, let's check this out. Speaking of do's, you see that? All right, so we've got to remove bulk fast. I cut thin slices, then use a hammer to break the pieces up. No, that is a no-no. That is not a... That took so much time. I wonder if it's because he doesn't have a big enough saw to make those ripping cuts, potentially. I mean, if he's only working indoors with battery saws, or I'm sorry, with... yeah, that might be the reason why he did that. But that's, I would say, never do that. Not ever. Unless you're doing this. And I ain't mad at the fact that he's breaking out chisels. I'm just not. And I ain't mad at the fact that he's got a maquette that he made for the shape of the bird. A little too deep, removing the bulk. See, that's why I would never recommend that. It's just extra steps. And now when you go to cut those feathers in, you're going to have some issues with the grain and the angle of that shim, if you know what I mean. Shim's going straight in, your feather angle is going to be somewhere in here, so you're going to have this weird little piece all the way through. Nope, he's making a flat. He must be adding his tail section. And it's not as easy as you might think to make something flat, especially on two sides. So he's throwing his Gorilla Glue on there. It's a polyurethane-based glue, so you need moisture to activate it. That's why he had the glue, or he's hit everything with water. Look, he's got a banking tail. Not sure about that grain either. Not a big fan of it. I think he's just using what he has, but plus he has all those deep overcuts. So in the future, anybody watching this, if you're going to do this in your life, don't do that the way he did it, unless you seriously have to for some reason. Like if you don't have a big enough bar to... Still, I'd still try to figure it out. Anyways, looks like he's got a pretty sweet shop, though. Now he's sanding his form, getting all his line work in. You know, I think the key here isn't going to be a super... be closer to finding desired forms. Yep, handheld stuff. So he's going to the head, which he... You know, like I said, I'm not mad at him breaking out chisels because that's what I do. But I don't understand, you know, we have to be aware when we're carving of the grain. And now we have the grain crossways on something, like on the tip. We have grain going like so, right? Slicing this way. So anytime when that thing starts to dry, it could be very problematic. Gonna do that. So that's just the difference between having to get something done and trying to, I don't know. I see a million carvers do it. I did it for years, and until it was brought to my attention, I guess. But it was up to me. Oh, he was smart. I was just going to comment on him being on his knees on the floor. Yeah. Now he's brought it up to a better strike zone. And here we are again. We've got cross grain on these little delicate toes, or whatever, talons. And it's okay now because everything's wet. But even still, it could easily pop off. But yeah, I don't see them lasting very long. Nor do I see the head of the face lasting, but I definitely don't see that lasting. Because when you get that far out and go that small on end grain, it really gets you where you can just go and just snap it off. Yeah. Laying in those feathers. I like how he's got some movement and some flow to the feather where it's just not a flat wing. It's really cool. He's got some dynamicism going on there with the bank tail and the head turn. And looks cool. The head's looking pretty good. Oh yeah, it looks great. A little Dremel. Yeah, that's a great looking head. It's a very vague bird. I think that's the intention, so that you don't have to overdo everything, all the details. Because if the form isn't right, really detail isn't technically going to help it. But the form looks okay, and he's got a lot of movement in it, and he's got a lot of twist in that body. And the head looks great, at least from this angle. A little finger sander. Is that the little Harbor Freight one? It's pretty impressive. So I'm not sure I like that gray though. Oh, the brown. That's what he's changed. Yeah, so I mean, that's a pretty good color right there. English chestnut for the win. Much better. Yes, I agree. And I noticed he didn't go with the pure white head and tail. You know, that's probably a smart idea. And I think it looks pretty dang good. I mean, for what it is, it looks a lot better than I thought. And I love the banking wing and tail and the head dipping. There's a lot to this. This thing's got a lot of dynamicism. And it's reminiscent of a bronze. It really is. It's a really cool piece, man. Oh well, that's it. I just want you to take some of that home with you, and I'll see you on the next one.